Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for this video, I'm going to be talking about my ASVAB experience. Basically, like some of the different questions that I answered in the ASVAB test and what I used to study. This is exactly what I wore to MEPS. I literally just took my test today. So I wanted to go ahead and film this video while it's still like fresh in my mind. So basically what I have on right now, just no words or anything, and then I just have jeans on. So I went in, I checked in with my liaison. They put the sticker on the right side. It had my name and like what I was there for. And then I went to the front desk and then I checked in with them. Had to sit down and read this little like folder thing. I was on YouTube the whole time. Like even at 12 o'clock at night, I'll be watching like a 30-minute YouTube video on how to solve math questions. A lot of times, like if you take too long on a question, there would be like a red screen that'll pop up, and then the guy has to come and like enter in his passcode. So that popped up like 5 times on mine. This book didn't help that much. This book that I'm using is the ASVAB Prep 2018-2019 edition. I got this at my library, and like, to be honest, it didn't really help me. Definitely these things that are gonna be on the test, because I saw it twice when I retook my test. I saw like some of the formulas for like squares and triangles, like basically what's the area of a square, area of a triangle. There was one thing that I did like look up on YouTube. Like I watched so many YouTube videos on just like solving different problems. On my first test, which it also came up on my second, there was one on like, you know, if there's 6 red marbles, if there's 7 blue marbles and 8 pink marbles, what's the what's the chances that you'll pick out like a blue marble? So definitely that one was on there. There was like one mechanic question that I think I answered correctly. Honestly, I watched like one YouTube video on here, and I suck at mechanics, so I'll link it down below. So that was the one mechanics video that I watched. I didn't really touch up on mechanics and electronics because I don't want those type of jobs. I was looking online and I heard that people try to focus on like the paragraph comprehension, mathematics, arithmetic, and word knowledge. So that's basically what I did, because I really needed my my general scores to be higher, because for the Air Force it goes off your line scores. I really wasn't paying attention to what my overall ASVAB score was. I was paying attention to like what would make up for that specific section. Like I heard that the general section would make up of those 4 different categories. That's exactly what I studied for, and I focused more on those sections. So like when it came down to the paragraph comprehension, like I literally made sure that I read the whole paragraph, because my first time taking it, I didn't read it. Like I would just kind of skim through it, or what I did was I'll read the answers first and then go back and then like read the paragraph. So what I did this time was, I think I read the paragraph at least 3 times to know what the author is talking about. And I feel like that really helped me big time. Like my scores improved a lot. So I mean, not like a whole lot, but I mean, it got me 3 pages worth of, you know, the list of jobs that I wanted. The first time that I went to go test at MEPS, I got a 55, and like my line scores were not that great, honestly. Like when my recruiter was like, okay, just write down a list of 10 jobs, like I literally was going through each one and I could not pick one out. I could only pick like the administrative jobs. I had to pick like security forces because I had to make up 10. Like, those aren't the jobs I wanted. So like, the main reason I went to go retest is because I want to prove to myself that if I study hard enough, I can get these high scores. I want to be able to have that opportunity to be able to choose. I don't think you can really study for like the word knowledges or the paragraph comprehension. You just gotta have some type of like, you just gotta have an idea of how the question looks like, and this book is really good for that. It shows you like a good setup of how it looks. Tip on like if the word has like a positive charge or a negative, to read like the sentence before it and after, and then focus on the word. Like, that's one good tip that it gave me. In this book, like, they have practice tests, and what I did was I'll do the questions one by one, and then after I'm done, I'll check if my answer is right, and if it was wrong, then I'll go back online and I literally type in the exact same question, and they have it online. Like, they have the question and then it's in some type of like flashcard looking thing. You flip it and it literally shows you like how they do it. So that's what I did, and that helped a lot. For science, on my first test, I noticed that there was a lot of like questions on like different types of rocks, like igneous rocks, sedimentary, I think that's how you say it. But what I did is like I looked up these different type of rocks, and I kind of just like see like examples of them. I studied a little bit on like anatomy, and like, you know, like how to balance chemical equations, because that was on my first one. So there was like little things that I picked out on my first one. It kind of helped me like study for my second one. The algebra part was pretty easy. The only thing is the time. The only thing is the time. So on the math problems, I was doing some algebra stuff, and then when I looked down at the clock, it was already like 2 minutes remaining, and I had like 5 questions left, and then I had to like scramble and like click and guess. So I read the questions really quick, and then I'll, you know, choose my answer. Most of my answers were honestly letter B or C. I don't know why, but I just choose those, and then I click next, and then I saw some like the last few questions that I really could have answered, but I literally had 1 minute left and I could not answer them without solving for X. It was a long process, so I really had to guess. I would pay attention to the time, because at that time, like, I was just focused on trying to get the answer right, and I feel like I could have solved it faster, but I was trying to like double check that stuff, and I mean, in the end, like, I got a good score, but I probably would have gotten those questions right. I'm not sure if I got it right. I mean, my score is higher, so I mean, maybe that helped. But yeah, there was a lot of algebra, like ratios, fractions. Definitely fractions were on there. Just basically like a lot of things that you learned in high school. There was definitely like circumference of a circle was on there. I'll find a radius, that was on there. Percentages. I watched a lot of percentage videos because that was one of my weaknesses, was percentages. So I made sure that I knew how to solve percentages. There was distance equals like rate over rate in time. I don't know, something like that. Distance equals rate times time, something like that. That was on there. There was a lot of like squaring. Like, what's the square root of 16? 4. Like, those were on there. How to square it. Greatest common factors was on there. Mechanics, for you ladies out there, you know us, like, girl, I did not know there was different type of screws, hammers, saws, fucking, what is it, like bolts, like, no, I did not know that. Pliers, literally this book has like pliers on there. Like, I recommend looking at pictures, because saws, that was on there. Oh, this clamp was on there. I didn't know what a C-clamp was, but now I know. The pictures of them, like cross hut saw. Like, girl, all I know is that this is a saw, okay? Not even joking, this book has it, and it was on the test. What kind of screwdriver is used for this nail? This shit is on here. That thing was hard. The first couple ones, I was like, I got this. So I'm like, you know, clicking through. I'm like, oh, okay, I got this. You see these crazy ass things, and then all of them look alike. So what I did was, I was like, okay, what I did was, I saw like one of the biggest objects in there. So I picked out one, and then I tried to see if it was in one of the four, and then I kind of used process of elimination. And then I picked another object, I see if it was in there, and I picked another one, see if it was in there, and then I was left with one. Honestly, let's just be honest, okay? So honestly, after I got through, like, there's 30 questions of them. Once I got through like 15, bitch, okay. No, I was like, bitch, no. So I just started like clicking, and I was like, I just want to know my score at this point. But that's what I did, and I don't know if that shit came out right. They literally look like this, like these. Yeah, after 15, I was done. Right after my test, I had to take this cyber test. Questions were kind of weird, like mainly like about internet protocols and what would you use if you want to send your boss an email. Like, if you don't want your coworkers to know about it too, do you put CC, BC, to, from, like that? Like, it was kind of weird. I don't know what that was for. I know most people take the personality test as well. I told the guy at the desk, he was asking me which test I already took. I already took the personality test, so luckily I didn't have to do it again. It was kind of weird. Would you cut a cat's head off, or would you lick a dog's foot? No, that's a bad example. So you gotta pick like which is not the worst, but is bad, if that makes any sense. It's basically trying to test if you crazy. So when I took my first test, that was one of the tests that I had to take, but luckily I didn't have to take it this second time. The second time I had to take the cyber test. I don't know what that's for, if it helps my score at all, but I had to take that. I went to the guy in the front desk, and then he basically took the sticker off from here. All right, you're good to go. And I'm looking around like, are you gonna tell me my scores? It's like, you gotta call your recruiter to get your scores. I texted him, and he sent me a picture of my scores back because he had to reboot his computer. And girl, guess what my scores were? I'm gonna insert a picture right here. Yes, bitch, I scored a 63, and I was able to get, you know, my line scores like where I wanted. I was able to qualify for, you know, the medical jobs that I wanted. That was my main goal, and we did it. We did it. I called my sister, I called my mom. I was like, your girl made it. But really, all you have to do is put in the work and just study, watching YouTube videos, refreshing your memory on math problems, especially if that's where you want to focus on. My recruiter said that he's gonna set me up to go get my physical next week, so I'll be doing that on the 28th. and I'm so excited. You know, there's gonna be another video. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, anything, just let me know. Put it in the comments section down below, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video. I'm gonna be putting more videos up, might put another vlog. Let me know what you want to see. I don't think there's anything else. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.